All right, guys, it is that time of the month. I need to do my February wrap up of all the books I read in February. I read 9 books in February, 7 of them physical copies, 2 of them on my Kindle. I primarily try to read physical copies of books. Anything I read on my Kindle is kind of a book that's on the back burner, like when I'm putting my son to bed and I have no lights on, but I need a little something and try to avoid screen time. So I read 2 on my Kindle by the same author, Elle Kennedy. Then I read 7 physical books. So we'll kind of go through all the books I read, what I thought about them, what I'm going to head into March with, all the things. I'm really excited about my new channel, you guys. I just love having an outlet to talk about books. I have no one in my real life to talk books with, so that's kind of why I'm doing this, and it's just fun for me. I would love any comments, likes, all the things, just to engage with people and be a part of the book review, book talk, all the things books community. So let's get started. My first book that I read was The Graham Effect by Elle Kennedy. That one was on my Kindle. I really enjoyed that book. It was a really fun read for me. I realized from that book I'm definitely a hockey romance girly, which is kind of fun because I would have never guessed that. I gave that book a 3.75 stars. I really enjoyed the storyline, the ending I was not expecting, so there is a little bit of a twist to it. I absolutely love Luke Ryder. He is one of my fave book boyfriends. I absolutely love that man. Gigi, to me at times, was a little annoying, but anyway, you have these 2 collegiate hockey players. She plays for the females, he plays for the males. He is from the rival school that they lost their hockey program. Now he's coming to Briar University to play with the hockey team. They're combining the teams. So she dated somebody else that was on the hockey team. They broke up because he cheated on her. Now she's kind of falling for the enemy. But it's just a super good read, super easy to read. It's a really fun romance. It's got good spice to it too. I thought I enjoyed the spice. So again, that was The Graham Effect, Elle Kennedy, 3.75 stars. Really enjoyed the read. Just not a full, obviously, 5 for me. And like I said, Gigi to me was a little annoying at times, but I absolutely loved Luke Ryder. He's the man. First physical book I read this year, or this past month, was Divine Rivals. This is a very easy fantasy read, a light romance. It's very sweet. You're following the 2 main characters. You have Iris and you have Roman. They are both journalists and they're working for the same newspaper, fighting for the same job, essentially. So they're kind of enemies. Not like truly like hate each other, but for the book's sake, kind of enemies. And Iris has a magical typewriter at her house that she was gifted to by her grandma years before, and she starts writing letters on it because she's trying to get in touch with her brother who is at war between the magical war. And she starts getting letters back from an unknown source, and she's like, oh my gosh, who am I writing with? And she kind of connects with this person as someone that she can talk to that's maybe not in her real life, about all the hardships she has, how she feels, and all the things, because her brother is gone at war. Well, the person on the other end with another magical typewriter is Roman. So he knows he's talking to her. He figures it out. She doesn't know. But, read the book. Anyway, these 2 fall for each other. It's a very sweet romance. It's not smutty, so if you're someone that likes something that's a little bit more heavy, it's not like that. I read this in between ACOTAR, so it was kind of a nice palate cleanser for me. I really enjoyed this book. It's got an easy fantasy read. I read through it fast. And most people really enjoy this. I would give it a 4 star. I liked reading it. I have nothing bad to say about it. I could have probably used actually a little bit more world building to really understand the universe that they're in and the things like that. But otherwise, I really like this book. I bought the second one, Ruthless Vows. It should be in my March TBR. I need to read it. But I've just seen so many not great reviews on it, so that's why I think I'm not reaching for it, because this does kind of end on a cliffhanger, like makes you excited and anticipating the second book. But I don't feel myself grabbing for it, so I really need to get excited about this series again and read that second book. But I did enjoy Divine Rivals. I would recommend to other people to read. I read A Court of Frost and Starlight. I wanted to skip this book, you guys. I was like really dead set, like I'm not going to read this book. I want to keep in like the exciting parts of the books. And I was like, this one's going to be so light and not really offer me a lot. And I was totally wrong. Very short. I finished it in a day and a half. It's the novella. It's the Hallmark movie of the series. and it really does a nice job of tying up everything together. I didn't think I needed anything tied up, but it's just a great way to end Feyre's point of view and move into Nesta's point of view, which is next. I really enjoyed this book. It's a 5-star for me because ACOTAR honestly just is. Is it as exciting as the other books? No. Did I have as many emotions through this book as the other ones? No. But it's still a 5-star because I just felt so good reading it. And I really base my stars off of the vibes. And I had great vibes reading this, and it led me perfectly into Nesta's point of view. So this book is needed in the series too. I thought maybe like we don't need this like Hallmark movie book, but we do. We definitely do, and it was so good. So loved this book. And it led perfectly into, like I said, A Court of Silver Flames. If you know, you know. You're either a Nesta person or you're not. And I definitely am. I resonated with this story. I loved everything about it. And she's thick. This is a thick book. But I think it's all necessary to tell this story, to really understand where we came from, where we're going, all the things. Sarah J. Maas did perfectly. I think this book is perfect, and it might honestly be my favorite book in the series. Nesta is a cold bee. She's a cold bee. She's warm. She seems heartless. And I think you can only understand her if, one, you are someone that kind of resonates with how she responds and reacts to things, or two, you are closely around someone who's similar. And it just opens your eyes in a different way, and you can just really feel her pain and her trauma and all the things. And she so badly just wants to be better. And her character development is immaculate through this book, and the way she cares for other people. I love Gwen. I love Emery. I just love everything about this book. Truly, I do. The ending is immaculate. If you have a sister, I think you can understand the end of this. It's just magical and fabulous. And I know there's a new book coming out, or she's going to continue this universe. I don't know if it'll be Nesta's point of view. Obviously, I would have no fucking clue. But I wouldn't mind Tamlin's point of view. I know that's saying a lot, but hear me out. There's so many unanswered questions about him, and I just have so many things I want to know about him. His decision making. He had to have known Feyre was not his mate. Why was he still pursuing her? Knowing, I just have so many questions, and I want to understand him better. Truly, I do. I don't want to believe he's a bad guy, because he did other good things. So you can't totally write him off, I think. I don't know. I could be totally wrong. Come for me if I'm wrong. And here's another one. I wouldn't mind an Eris point of view. I think there's more to Eris as well. I think we're not getting the full story. I know Mor is the truth teller, but I think there's things there that we don't know, and he has a story to be told. So, I don't know where ACOTAR goes next, but I love this book. I love Nesta's point of view and everything about this. Like I said, it's easily a 5-star for me, and it might be my favorite book in the series. Talk about palate cleanser. I read this after finishing ACOTAR because I needed something just like different, totally different. You come off kind of like a hangover then, to be honest. I'm still stuck up on that series. But I read Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, and I really liked this book. Again, I'm a hockey romance girl, but I thought it was fun. The banter is fabulous. The spice, especially in the beginning. Oh, God, I absolutely loved it. By the end, you do get a little bored. You follow Anastasia. She is a figure skater at the college. Nate is the hockey captain. And they kind of dislike each other. But they're brought together. And the story is focused on them falling for each other. There is a subplot that I don't really love, and it involves her figure skating partner trying to ruin Nate's reputation. It's kind of fun because it adds some like drama to the book, but it fizzles out, and there was so much that could have been done with it that wasn't done. And you're just kind of left like, okay, this could have been a good subplot, but like it didn't amount to really anything super exciting. So that was kind of a bummer. But otherwise, their romance, their connection is super good. You feel it as the reader. I like Hannah Grace's writing. I did pick up Wildfire. It is on my March TBR. So I'm definitely interested to keep reading books by her. I liked this one more than The Graham Effect, so I would rate this one a 4 because I read that one 3.75. I liked the female lead in this book better than I liked Gigi. So yeah, and I love the cover. I just think it's super cute. I love the colors. I love the way they're looking at each other. It's a fun read. I know there's a lot of mixed reviews, but I truly did. It's a love-hate. It is a true love-hate for me, this book. I love it. I absolutely hate the ending. I am definitely someone who likes closure at the end of the book. Maybe not full closure, but I can like somewhat sense what's coming next, what to expect. You don't feel that with this. You don't feel warm and cozy and settled after reading this book, which keeps it fun. I'm anxiously waiting for the next book along with everyone else who's read this. It's such a good book, such a good read. All right, so this book, very fast paced. It is fantasy. A lot of people say it's like Hunger Games. I can kind of see that, but I'll give my reasons why I don't think so. Anyway, you are following two people in this story, main people. You have Peyton. She is an ordinary and she lives among the elites. So essentially they live in this kingdom. She has no magical powers, and they believe, their king has made them believe that if someone is an ordinary, if they don't have magical powers, it ruins the magical powers of people around them. So Peyton is born an ordinary. People like her generally are killed off. But her dad helps her pretend to be a psychic. She works on becoming a pretend psychic, so it seems like she has magical abilities, so she lives among the elites. Kai, he's the enforcer in the kingdom, so his job is to kill people, essentially, like Peyton. And obviously, they meet. There's a good chemistry there. And it's just a lot, you guys. Their slow burn chemistry. You want to talk about slow burn? You enjoy slow burn? You need to read this book. Because it has you like curling your toes and you're just like, oh my God, just do something about it, you two. It's such a fun read. I love their chemistry. You feel the connection between them. It's like Hunger Games in the sense they go to these trials, only one person wins kind of thing. But the romance in this is unlike anything I ever felt while reading the Hunger Games. And this has magical powers with it too. So the way this book ends is a massive cliffhanger. And I have no idea what to expect for the second book. But I cannot wait. If you haven't read Powerless, you need to read it. I know that's like preaching to the choir. Everyone says it. But it is such a good read. Lauren Roberts did so good with this book. And the way, I'm like all over the place explaining this. The way Kai talks to Peyton, the way he thinks about her, the way he feels about her, his point of view is fantastic. And I love the way he thinks. They both have their own set of trauma, their own things they're working through, but it kind of bonds them together because they have both been through some really hard things in their life. And it's just such a good book. It's a 4.5 for me. 4.5 stars. I can't tell you why it's not a full 5. I think because I didn't feel a wide range of emotions while reading it. But I did. I don't know. Some days I'm like it's a 5. Other days I'm like it's 4.5. Today it's 4.5. But I absolutely love this book. Could not put it down. And it's a great read. Great fantasy. Great everything. We just love this book. We love, love, love Stan Her. And then we move into a book that... Bride by Ali Hazelwood. Okay, you guys, this was the first Ali Hazelwood book I've read, and now I'm kind of like meh on it. Do I read more by her? Do I not? I'm kind of in the middle. I don't know what to think. I was very excited about this book, which is maybe my own fault. I liked Twilight back in the day. Who didn't? So I was like, I was really anticipating this, but it just didn't sit with me really in any sense. I take that back. I like the beginning. I like the first 100 pages. So you have Misery. She's a vampire. Obviously, the vamps don't get along with the wolves. That's low back there. These two are forced into an arranged marriage because of politics things, mostly. So they're together and they avoid each other. There's like nothing. And then all of a sudden you have this huge like romance. It's not even a good romance. Like it's not enjoyable to read. It wasn't for me. I shouldn't say. Other people might love it. But it just goes from 0 to 100. And I need the character build. I need the connection. I need to feel like there's something there. And you just don't get that with this. At first I liked Misery as a character though. She's very witty, well-spoken. She's kind of fun. Her inner thoughts are funny and she's enjoyable to read. But her and Lo together as a couple, not enjoyable. There's also several things going on in this book where sometimes it's hard to like remember, like, what am I focusing on? Like, what do I care about here? Because there's a lot of different things going on, and it's just an interesting book. It was 2.5 for me. I didn't love the smut scenes. If you like werewolf things, then I think you'll enjoy this book. But I've never read anything else like this, so for me, I realized it's not my thing. Probably won't keep reading books like this. It wasn't bad writing necessarily. It just, like I said, 0 to 100, a lot going on, no connection. Didn't love. But if there are Ali Hazelwood books I should read, I would love the recommendations because so many people love her writing and her books, and I just need to know which one I should go for. And then the last physical book I read for February was Magnolia Parks. I am excited about this universe. I feel a lot of different ways about this book though. So it's hard for me to rate it. I don't like the cheating trope. I don't think I like the cheating trope, but I was very intrigued in this book. I hate how they treat each other. I can't stand how BJ treats Magnolia, and it's hard to understand why. And maybe I'll learn why as we keep reading, but it's hard to like read these books or this book and see the two main characters. You can tell they love each other so much. Jessa Hastings does a fabulous job of writing about these two's love for each other. It's a deep, real love, and you feel that, but they can't make it work together, and it is frustrating. Like you just want to shake them and say, figure it out, say how you feel, all the things. It's hard for me too because it's hard to understand Magnolia and like, why do you allow this? Why do you allow this kind of treatment? Like she keeps going back to him, and I know she just wants him to be a better man. We all want him to be a better man. BJ, for the love of God, be a better man. But I don't know how this one ends too. I don't know what to expect for the series. I'm currently reading Daisy Hates. I can't tell who I like more because I see so many reviews of people like, I like Magnolia, I like Daisy. I don't know yet because I'm only like 200 pages into Daisy Hates. So we're still learning that storyline. Sometimes, in some ways, I'm like, this is a 5-star for me because I cried, I laughed, I felt love, I felt so much reading this book. But then when I look at the other picture of it, the way BJ talks to her sometimes, the cheating, the scandal, I'm like, I hate this book. It's somewhere between a 4 and a 5. I don't know if I'll ever officially rate it because you feel so many different things reading this book, but I'm definitely excited about the universe. I can see why people hype it up. Very excited to continue reading it. A great read. Like I said, I felt all the emotions, and I still don't even know how I feel about it, to be honest. But I like their love. I believe in their love, I think. And I think they're going to figure it out, but I just don't know. But I'm reading Daisy Hates right now, so we'll see. I will probably do the 3rd book in the universe for my March TBR if I get there. I have 6 books in my TBR right now, which past month I read 9, so we'll see. And then I finished the month on my Kindle with The Deal by Elle Kennedy. I really liked that book too. It's a 3.5 for me. Another Hucky romance. She's the kind of nerdy girl. I wouldn't say nerdy girl, but she's into the arts, great singer, very smart, intelligent. He's the hockey captain. And it's not that he's like a typical jock. He's a great guy. They come together, they fall in love. Rest is history. But I really enjoyed the banter. I love the wording. I like Elle Kennedy's writing. She's super fun to read. And it's an easy read where I can put it down, like I said, on my Kindle, come back to it, and be right where I left off. So I'm going to read that series on my Kindle. I'm on the next one now. I couldn't tell you. I can't remember what it's called. But anyways, I'm very happy with what I read in February. I feel good about it. Couple 5 stars. And I'm excited to see what March brings me. I'm going to start Throne of Glass. I don't know if I'm ready for a series to fully take over my life again, but I need something big because like I said, I'm still like slumped over ACOTAR. Like I'm still in that hangover and I need something next. But thank you for watching this video. I will make a March TBR as well. I want to do a Daisy Hates read with me, because I did Magnolia Parks read with me. So I have some exciting things coming up. To be honest, I'm very new to YouTube and I don't know where this channel is going to go. I don't know how I'm going to navigate it, what I'm going to post next, but I'm going to do my best because this is a really fun outlet for me. So if you're a part of it, thank you for being a part of it, and stay tuned for my next video.